I tell people that all the time, man. When they ask me, hey, man, do you miss professional wrestling? Do you miss being in the ring? I say, man, I served my time.
Yeah. We put in that hard work. Made a name for ourselves and did what we had to do to make it. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves more than what people know. You know what I mean? Because we want to be the best at what we do. And now the fact that we did what we've done in the sport, it's time to move on and just enjoy life better.
That's one of the reasons, when I gave you your introduction that I call you Anthony Johnson instead of Rumble. Do you feel like now, since leaving, the fight game that you're, shedding that cloak, of being Rumble?
You know what?
Or do you want to?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just it's weird to me. I'm still getting used to the fact that I'm Anthony Johnson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I owe everything that I have right now to Anthony Rumble Johnson. Because he made a good life for Anthony Johnson. So I try not to ride the coattail of Anthony Rumble Johnson, but I am. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me, but it's all of it is a blessing at the end of the day, and I don't regret any of the things that I've done, and when it comes to the things that I have right now.
I feel that that same way. The career is one thing. It's hard. You gotta take the good times, with the bad times. Sometimes the bad times may actually be the good times. You don't know until it's all over with. I'm talking about, being on the road with the boys. Going from one town to another city to next few hours you're in a different country. That's the part. I think for me, I miss not just the entertainment more than anything. What do you think that you're gonna miss more than anything from the fight game?
Yeah, you know what? I do miss my guys. I can talk to them. I can go see them anytime because they're right down the road from where I live. But I don't miss getting up in the morning and going to training. That's for sure. And I don't miss the pressure of having to watch what I eat and worry about, if I say something, the media is going to take it the wrong way and twist it and flip it around and things like this. So there's a lot of things I won't miss, but I most definitely miss my guys. You know what I mean? And I met a lot of great people along the way, so I'll miss everybody. But for the most part, I'm staying in touch with everybody. I didn't burn any bridges in the game, so wanted to go back to make my twice I can because I left on my own terms. I left on good terms, and I left as one of the best fighters ever in the weight class. So I think I did my job.
No doubt. I think you did. I think everybody, can agree you did your job. You debuted, in the UFC in 2006, and it's 2017, and you said goodbye to it. Myself, I grew up, kind of like you, but a little bit different. A single parent household. It was rough, growing up. But I worked a real job before I got into, professional wrestling, so I knew what life was really about. I'm one of those guys that look at life in seasons. We got our spring, summer, and our winter and our fall. Do you look at the UFC as just being, a part of, of that one season in your life?
You know what? Yeah, no. UFC they have seen, the whole world has seen my ups and downs. I've had good times, I had okay times, I had absolutely some terrible times. You know what I mean? So, UFC is, man, it's crazy. I mean, when you ask me questions like that, it's so many different ways I can put it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it never come out the right way because if I say it one way,
somebody might take it and make it something else.
No, not even that. Then I want to say it another way. Then I want to say it this way. Okay. Because that's what I'm saying. It's so, and it's hard to explain.
Yeah. And I'd say that because even like now, I do the radio thing. I got a wrestling school. got a wrestling show that comes on television. I planned, when I was 30 years old, I was like, man, I want to get out of professional wrestling. It's pretty hard. And I tried to I tried to put myself in a position, but I started a long time ago. Your retirement pretty much came, abrupt. It was shocking to everyone. Everyone in the arena was shocked. Me sitting at home watching it, on television. I did not see that coming. What was your main motivation to, push you to retire at 33 years old, when you got so much more left in you, at that time? What was the main factor?
My health, man. You hear about CTE and all this other stuff, head injuries, and, you're harming your body playing football and stuff, but this stuff can happen just as fast in mixed martial arts as it can in any other sport. You know what I mean? Because we're constantly feeding on each other. And excuse me. I love myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, a lot of guys don't think about that. They want to get in these battles and just wars, and I'm like, I'm not about that life. I'm gonna be honest. I was never a fighter. You know what I mean? I was adjusted. Running, fighting was like natural to me in a way because I was just so athletic. I caught on to everything really quick.
Yeah.
Wow. Never meant to fight. I was meant to do something else, something greater in life. So, it was just time for me to move on, and I wanted to be able to have kids and be able to talk to them and play around with them by the time I'm 45. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of these guys already have kids that are in UFC and mixed martial arts, getting knocked silly. You know what I mean? And like my man Diego Sanchez is taking some hits, bro, and he's dropping. You know what I mean? I'm like, I remember watching this guy on the Ultimate Fighter. He was killing it. Now, these guys are younger, bigger, and faster, stronger, and just they're taking over. And I'm like, I don't want to go out like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be known as the guy who was getting his clock clean like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get out on my own terms and good terms and healthy. And those guys, I'm not going to call them any names, but if those guys want to go in there and do that to themselves, go ahead. That's your life. That's your body. That's your future. But for me, I'm destined to do something greater.
I remember watching Kevin Randleman at the beginning of his career, and I remember, seeing him at the end of his life. I remember watching Chris Lieben, at the beginning of his career, and then I watch him, now, and it's totally different. I remember being a young man myself, being in the locker room once upon a time, and I was sitting next to Chief Wahoo McDaniel, and he was my idol when I was growing up. I was like, man, I'm sitting next to the Chief, and the Chief could barely put his boots on. He could barely lace his boots up, and I was like, wow, and I was a young kid in wrestling at that time, and I was like, man, I don't want to be like that, at the end of my career, and just like yourself, I said, man, I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to be able to, like now I love playing golf. I want to go out and play golf, and I think I cherish and value that a whole lot more than I did, performing. I honestly really do. That's a great deal as far as that's the reason you're walking away from it. But the thing is, with the fight game with you, Rumble, everywhere you go, you got that recognizable face. I mean, you got a face that's distinctive. Everywhere you go, people going to be asking you, man, when you going to be coming back, Rumble? When are you going to be making your return? I know you're getting that already.
Every day, brother. Every day. It doesn't stop. I go in the gas station, the cashier is like, man, why did you stop? When you coming back? And things like that. And I go in the restaurant, or hell, I go to the bathroom and I see somebody in there, using the gun, and they come out and they're like, man, what's up, bro? When are you coming back? And I'm just like, man, I'm done. Nobody really takes me serious. You know what I mean? Because they've seen so many guys retire and then try and come back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, BJ Penn did it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't. That's not me. When I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm finished, man. I do want to see the younger generation take over and watch their success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to sit back and be a fan now instead of a fighter.
You said it. You hit it on the head. I mean, you look at George St. Pierre. He retired. We was wondering when he was going to be coming back. And now he's making his return.
Brock Lesnar, another one.
Exactly. Guys always seem to come back, and I tell you, man, people ask me that as well. Book, when you gonna get back in the ring? You got one more run left in you, and I'm like, bro, I'm done. I'm finished. I've moved on. I'm like, I'm not. I've actually sold all my boots on eBay. You can forget it. I got got a good price for it.
I'm not about that life, man. I'm not about that life anymore. It was fun while it lasted, but man, I'm happy. I'm honestly happy, and it's just I'm moving on to something bigger, better, and safer.
At the end of the day, all it is just a job, and I try to get that through a lot of people's head. They get in the business and they want to become stars, and then when it's all over with, they don't realize, hey, life goes on. You got to figure out, what's next, what's your next move, and I think, like I say, seeing yourself being able to move away from it and go into something different, that's huge, man. My question is, what is that next venture for Anthony Johnson?
Man,
movies.
I've been offered movies. I'm still doing appearances here and there for mixed martial arts and things like that. But I have my friend Paul. He's in Canada. We're opening up a facility. You know what I mean? And it's for medical uses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you can talk about it, man. We talk about that on there all the time. I'm all about that proposition.
Okay, yeah. So we getting it in that way. You know what I'm saying? That way.
Yeah.
And we got some good things going on, and it's already big. You know what I mean? We're just waiting on that law to pass, and then whenever it passes, we're golden. You know what I'm saying? We're playing our cards right. We are playing by the books. So that way there is no issues. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're good to go. And if like I said, man, if you can find a job or anything that will help you grow and you make even more money without doing as near as much as you were doing before, especially if it's causing bodily harm, your previous job, then jump on board to something that that's better. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is,
that's what I'm doing.
If you're good at it too, you know what I mean. You jump on it, you run with it. I tell people all the time, if you're good at what you do, and you're treating people the right way, you ain't got to worry about a check coming in the mail. I've been doing what I do for 26 years. I'm a kid that pretty much came from nothing, and it's like a snowball going downhill. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And like you say, my health is more important to me these days than anything. I'm 52 years old. I'm your senior, man. I'm your big brother, man. But I'm still trying to, I'm still trying to move forward. I'm still trying to, evolve. I'm still trying to stay relevant in this life. You know what I mean? And like you say, I see a lot of guys, and me personally, I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate for the fighter. You guys. Go through wars. You guys are warriors. You guys are modern day gladiators. You put your lives on the line every time you go inside of that octagon. And you talk about CTE, and one of my friends, Chris Nowinski. He's one of the guys who headed the Concussion Institute, and he's a guy who got kicked in the head playing college football and wondering now if he's going to have those problems to deal with later on in his life. And we haven't done studies like that on the UFC fighters yet. You know what I mean? And I talk about that on this show all the time. What is that going to look like 20 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, when they do start doing the studies as far as what's happening to the fighter, that went in there and put his life on the line, blood, sweat, and tears. So I commend you, bro. I commend you 100% wholeheartedly for being able to step away from the game and think about your life. First and foremost, I just wish many more thought like you do.
Yeah, man. I just couldn't do it anymore. And you gotta go in there and do your thing. You gotta go in there and make your money and get out.
Make your money and get out.
Make your money and get out. And that's why Conor McGregor is like killing it. He's straight killing it. You know what I mean?
You know,
So,
I give him a lot of credit too, man. I give him I give him a lot of credit, and I tell guys you can't hate on the guy that make the deal and the best deal for himself. And the thing is, when you got talent, cream rise to the top. You know what I mean? You got something that I want, you're gonna pay for it, and he's making the UFC pay. And I just wish so many more of those guys could actually get the payday because they sold that company for a whole lot of money, and that
billion,
money, exactly, and that money should be trickling down to the fighter, the octagon warrior that goes in there and keep that company alive. Because if it wasn't for the fighter, it wouldn't be no UFC, and I say that, but that's why I say come to WWE, man. They'll pay you a whole lot of money. Vince McMahon, you ain't got to worry about making. Trust me, come to WWE, come talk to me, and we're gonna make it happen, man. I just want to.
We might just have to do that for sure. You know what I mean? We might have to make that move, baby.
I'm serious, man. I got some stuff coming up. I'm gonna be sending you an invite, man. Like I said.